Welcome, engineers, to Race Up Problem. Today's problem is getting through the British Grand Prix, my home Grand Prix, the team's home Grand Prix. Hopefully, it can be a good one today. And welcome back to the. I don't know. Anyway, I've got to cut my knuckle. That's really bothering me. So that's probably why I'm messing up this. Anyway, sorting out the activities, just trying to maximize the time that we've got. Unfortunately, we want to get performance review of Pierre, as it will increase his statistics, mainly the focus one, but that takes up 1 day and there's no 2 days, so we can't fill out the full 9. So we're just going to go with team building, title sponsor venue, and then move the performance review closer to today, in-game today. Anyway, choosing a new sponsor. I'm going to make one that's quite easy to do. Alkene's Energy, staying with them. And as it's a British Grand Prix, we are going to have a special livery, which is going to tease the livery that I'm planning to do for Season 4. So, take a good look at it here. It's got the colours of this season, but it's the livery design of next season. So, comment down in the comments what colours you think are going to change and what colours are going to stay. I really like this livery. Reminds me of Tiger, and it's just really cool, especially the red on Halo. Anyway, we're going to advance towards the end of the admin activities, and everything's coming. We've got new parts on the car. I believe that will be in break update. And I was seeing if the activities would update, seeing that we've used them all, but it hasn't. And let's check the finance history. Going up, we'll have to re-sign Pierre after this Grand Prix. So that'll be coming in the next episode. P6 in Austria. Let's see if we can maintain that momentum that we had in France and Austria. Pierre's focus 68 at the moment. I'd like that to be a little bit higher. That's why we did the second driver performance review. And as it shows, 7 days until his contract expires. Probably don't have enough money to spend on any facilities, as well as Pierre. Pierre is about 11,000, I believe, leaving us with 11 million for Pierre, leaving 6 million for us, so it's not viable. Looking at durability, as it's not completely filled up on Spec 2. Just trying to find out which would be the best upgrade to get if we wanted Spec 3. Thinking build time or quality control, because that would be the most important. But let's head to the British Grand Prix to find out where we are in the R&D performance chart. First of all, we've got to check the weather forecast. Is there going to be any rain? Yes, there is for qualifying, but it's going to be dry for the race. We have been overtaken by AlphaTauri, so we have just been put outside the top 10. So it might be a bit of a challenge to get into the top 10 in today's episode. But heading towards practice 1 then, we're going to show off our livery. Not to you guys yet. Just for me, and that would have been so unlucky if it shown my livery just then. Anyway, practice programs, missing out on all stuff about bar from 1. XP points, getting to level 30, and pretty equal with our teammate there, Pierre. We set a 27.1, he set a 27.1 as well, but we were slightly quicker. Didn't quite check the sector times. 27.5, 36.0, 23.5. I should have been paying more attention to that.
Let's have your take on it.
Yeah, it was an okay day.
To be racing on home turf?
For me, it's no different really, but this track does have the best fans.
Performing as well as they could do?
I like to see him. They're hard workers.
Great. Well, that's everything.
As a voice in this, I have noticed that the sounding is a little bit off once again. Still my bad. I do assure you it is fixed for next episode coming out Tuesday, hopefully. And yeah, just doing the practice programs. 50% works for the fuel management, 70% for race strategy, 25% maybe for tyre management. Nope, so we're gonna go to 50%. See if that works. Nope, so we've got to go to 70%. If this doesn't work, we're going back to 25. Are you kidding me? Going back to 25 then. It fails. 50%. Surely this worked. Nope. Going to 70% again. Hey, finally. Well, that's all the objectives complete. So qualifying up next. Let's see what we're going to do in the qualifying. It is going to be wet, but we are going to have a dry setup for the race. To be fair, I don't really have any difference between the two setups. So, yeah, hopefully we do well. I do expect myself to be a little bit down. Obviously, I've got a bit of downforce to rectify the overpowered speed of the AI through Sector 2, mainly through cops. But Freshers engines should counteract that downforce that we have put on for the straights. But yeah, just making sure that we do have the Freshers engines that we can put on. Column 1 for ICE, MGUH, column 3, MGK maybe actually. I don't know, I didn't pay attention. I don't know what the word is. Anyway, let's go to qualifying for the British Grand Prix. Let's see how we do. So, welcome to Rivalry Breakdown, and there is the livery. You can only see the red bits, but I think it's really cool from the inside of the car.
2 laps of fuel left.
Put P12 with our first lap. Our second lap, getting a bit of oversteer through the penultimate corner, gaining 3/10 though. Only puts us P15 with a 38.8. I do think it is going to dry out towards the end of qualifying though. Yeah, Q1. Third lap doesn't improve at all. Still P18, so we will need to go out again at the end of the session. But are we going to be able to go on to the inters? Increasing the downforce just a little bit. And checking up with our lap time compared to Pierre.
The radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now.
Thank you, Jeff. So we put on a bit more downforce. Checking the weather because I didn't do this in practice. And nope. Just realising the inters are quicker though. So Jeff lying about the heavy rain. Checking up on the rest of practice weather, but we are going to go out now for our runs, and hopefully we have got enough time to go out on the inters. It has dried up. We have gone 2 seconds quicker to put us P10. That is good enough for Q2 at the moment. But we have been dropped down to P12. Still good enough. 1.2 improvement, and it makes sure that we get into Q2 with a P3 lap. On board with the AlphaTauri, who stayed in pit lane. Got the inters on, though. Maybe that's just AI programming to have the better tyre on at all times. Didn't check, but this is Q1 results, and look at the bottom 6. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc knocked out of Q1. Fernando Alonso as well. Not as big, but he's one of our rivals that we may be able to beat. And yeah, this was this was absolutely shocking for me. Shocked so much. We might be able to get into Q3. P6 was our first lap in Q2 then.
1:32.7.
Going for our second lap then. We're P9 at the moment. Can't improve. Are we going to come in at the end of this lap? No, we're not. We're going to go again. Improving by 6/10. Ferrari ahead of us. Where are we going to improve from? To P12 from P13.
That puts you into P12.
With a 34.6. We're going to go for 4th lap. We've got fuel to go for another one after this. 4/10 improvement. Only go P10 though. But it does get us through to Q3. And there's a bit more of the livery. Kept the same helmet. That I've been running throughout the whole of this season, so a bit of a mistake on my part, but we knock out Vettel by 14 milliseconds, 33 milliseconds to Pierre, 43 milliseconds to Pierre, so a little bit bigger gap from Vettel to Gasly, so even if Gasly did improve, it would have only knocked us out because we were 3/10 away from Giovinazzi. But Q3 now, I'm going for our first lap. Where are we going to go? P8 with a 34.3. Second lap, where's it going to put us? Going on board for the beginning of lap 2. So maybe this is our best lap now. Going through the loop and heading towards Aintree. Going up the gears up to 8th, heading towards Brooklands now, left field. Braking about the 50-meter board, taking a late apex to set up left field. Going down into 2nd gear, trying to get the best rotation and exit, heading towards Cops and Woodcote. Woodcote first though, pretty much flat, even in the wet. Cops very much the opposite. Left, maybe a brake. Yes, down in 6th gear. Can we maintain speed? We're improving on the Delta. Heading towards Maggots and Beckett's. Maggots flat. Beckett's down into 5th. Down into 4th just before Chapel. Chapel should be flat out. Yes, it is through Chapel 6th gear. Losing a bit of time on the Delta, but it's not too much. About a 10th or 2. Heading towards Stone End. Braking about the 50-meter board. A little bit wide on the apex, but it should be fine. It's not though, we're losing a bit of delta. Braking at 100-meter board for the Vale chicane. Missing the apex only just, going past the sunglasses grandstand. Heading towards the final corner, we're gaining a bit of delta. But I don't know what that was. A bit of a glitch, but it is our best lap. It's only put us P7, but we have not got enough time. We've called it too late. I don't know what happened. Yeah. We've just got to wait and watch. Hopefully no one puts us down. What's it going to do? Gio, he's going to cross the line. Is he? He goes P6, so we're down to P8. Yuki Tsunoda and Guan Yu Zhou, can they improve to beat us? Hopefully not. Yuki Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou is going to be first across the line. Are we going to be able to watch him? We've got 10 seconds left of the session. Guan Yu Zhou in the AlphaTauri, his first season. Is he going to go ahead of us? Yes, he does, P8. What about Yuki Tsunoda? We might be P10. Yes, we are. And I am very, very annoyed with that. And you can see,
an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours.
I skipped it instantly.
You had a lot of fans out there today. Does the pressure get to you when you're back?
And obviously with Claire's question, you can probably tell that I was a bit peed off.
Relief to qualify that far up the grid.
So this question I just no commented. Oh no, I didn't.
Appreciate your time.
Well yeah, technically we should only be P16. Sergio Perez once again still beating us in the rivalry. We're still gonna have to keep him as a rival till Hungary, unfortunately. But Team McLaren going up quite a bit. Hopefully we can have a good result in the race, as it is dry and our setup should work better in the dry. Nice bun, Jeff. Let's go to the race. Didn't give me any warning.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula One World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. Invented over the years, with turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Lando Norris. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Norris, Sergio Perez, and Tsunoda, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Joe, and Roberts, Vettel, Gasly, Lance Stroll, and Matsushita, Ocon, Russell, Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So the grid sequence there,
Okay, I
confirming.
know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Grid sequence confirming that Hamilton, Leclerc, and Alonso are starting behind us. Guan Yu, Giovinazzi, we should be able to get them immediately. Carlos Sainz may be a little bit more difficult, but either we get Carlos Sainz and then get Tsunoda, or Carlos Sainz gets Tsunoda and then we get Tsunoda. Sorry about that. Anyway, seeing the strategy, both come out to be the same thing, so it doesn't matter. We are going to go one lap earlier with mediums and just trying a strategy, see if it's going to be any different. Doesn't seem to be. Yeah, the mediums to hards aren't going to make a difference. It's only going to be 7 seconds slower. So we're going to go soft hards, see if that's any quicker. 4 seconds. If the tyre wear's that bad, we'll go on the hards, but maybe it should have been switched the other way around. Anyway, going for the British Grand Prix then. Formation lap first. Hopefully we don't hit anyone at the beginning of it this time. Because that was the downfall.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
That was our downfall at Austria, going too early with the hitting someone on the formation lap and then causing us to have cold tyres at the beginning of the race, meaning we had to do some catch-up. Hopefully we don't have to do any catch-up in this race and we can just plough forward and get the best result we can in this one-off special livery, promoting next season's livery. So is it really a one-off special livery? Anyway, I'm babbling. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed.
At the British Grand Prix, the lights are coming on now. 5 lights are on. Are they going to go out? Yes, they are. And it's vetted quite quickly. Got a good start compared to the Alpine and AlphaTauri, but then the Aston Martin trying to go outside into turn 1, make a bit of contact. Pierre Gasly gets through on the Aston Martin for P11. We close in on the AlphaTauri. Can we go down the outside? No. Into turn 4, yes we can. Lovely move on the AlphaTauri of Guan Yu. Now we've just got to try and make a move on Antonio Giovinazzi, whilst also defend for Guan Yu Zhou. Going to force him to the inside like I always do. Best defense mover, tighten up their line as much as you can. Going through to Brooklyn's and Luffield then. He's still there. Can we get just ahead of him? Yes, we can. And now he's going to battle with Pierre Gasly. So hopefully Pierre can get through for P10. Anyway, now our focus shifts to Antonio Giovinazzi for P8. As Tsunoda is holding up Carlos Sainz for P7. Now we've got the hectic part of the race done. We can focus a little bit more on the drivers in front. Fortunately, Pierre Gasly couldn't make a move on Yuki Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, our power unit. Maybe a little bit underperforming compared to the rest of the teams. Obviously, I can't check where our power unit is because I've got no upgrades available. I think that's something that Cody's need to change. You need to be able to tell where your power unit areas of the car are, even when you can't make upgrades, because then you know which facilities you really need to upgrade. End of lap 2 then, beginning of lap 3, we are really close to Giovinazzi.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Jeff interrupting me there.
Giovinazzi is ahead of you. Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. The time last lap
So
was
like
a
Giovinazzi doing a 1 stop then.
1:28.0.
Can we use DRS to close in on him? No, we're just a little bit too far back as we head towards the end of the Wellington Straight, I believe that is. I'm not sure which one's Wellington and which one's Hangar. Yeah, on to lap 4 then. Staying in touch with Giovinazzi. Let's see if we can get past him fairly soon, as Carlos Sainz has got past Yuki Tsunoda. So our plan of getting past Giovinazzi very early has not worked, but we may still be able to get past Giovinazzi and Yuki Tsunoda. We are very close to Giovinazzi through that final corner there, but he just pulls away a little bit. And going through Cops, Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. Can we use our DRS and ERS to get in front of him? Got DRS on, heading towards Cops. Yep, Stowe. Just going to back off a little bit as we go into the corner, hitting the apex nice and early. Giovinazzi cutting the corner just a little bit more. We're going to look at the dive bomb down the inside of the chicane. Not quite going to work, and we're just going to have to wait for another lap to get past him. On to be lap 7 then. Pit window, not going to be too far away. Going through Cops, we're very close to him. Controller died there whilst I was trying to do a radio to Jeff, so yeah, that's not the best.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Some information on Joe. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Zoe behind us then, got a mechanical failure. Probably. He's really close to it. Oh no, that's Lewis. That's Lewis behind us.
Gap to teammate behind is 3.4 seconds. They're on old softs. They're in 12th. The time last lap was a 1:28.7. Some information on Gasly. They seem to have an issue.
Down the inside of Alpine we're going. Having to interrupt Jeff there. But we died down the inside of Giovinazzi as we were really close to him.
We're approaching the pit window.
As we're approaching the pit window. You may have noticed Lewis Hamilton is behind us both
Green
now.
flag.
And we've got a green flag.
Tsunoda's just ahead. Push hard. Gap to car in
Tsunoda,
front
yes, we know is ahead of us.
0.9 seconds.
0.9
They're on
seconds.
old softs. Their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop.
One
the time
stop.
last lap was a
Look at the mirror.
1:28.0.
Oh, what a
You're
move
falling
from Lewis.
back by 1/10 a lap. Some information on Vettel. It looks
Brilliant
like the problem
move
is
there.
terminal. They're retiring the car.
Vettel's retiring from the race, so Pierre might have an easier race from here on. We're going to let Lewis go. He's obviously the quicker driver. And yeah, let's see if he can pull us along to Yuki, as we have lost a little bit of time to him. And he head on to lap 9. 1 lap before pit window. Let's see if we can stay in touch with Lewis. Fully expect not
Hamilton
to.
is ahead of you. The gap is less than a second. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 8 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. The time last lap was a 1:27.8. You're losing around 7/10 a lap.
There's Vettel. Interesting that Lewis is doing the one stop like
leading
we
our
are.
teammate by 8.2 seconds. They're on old softs. They're in 14th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 31.2.
Pierre's mechanical problems have caused him to drop down to P14. Watching on board our perspective of the battle in front, Lewis, is he going to be able to get past Tsunoda easy? Going around the outside of Stowe, that is going to be courageous and brave. Is he going to make it? He's going for it.
Be aware we
And
expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Tsunoda is still fighting back as we go through the Vale chicane, allowing us to close up right to the back of them. Lewis, can he get the move done in front of his home crowd? Almost. Tsunoda just going to pull ahead of him at the moment as we going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. But what a brilliant defence from Yuki Tsunoda there.
At the moment, just focus on the driving.
No tyre concerns for the moment, so we can push on these tyres for this lap. Let's see if Lewis is going to try and get past Yuki Tsunoda heading into Brooklands. He's going to go down the inside. Let's see if we can follow him through, hang him back a bit so that if they slow down we don't hit him. Going through Luffield, Tsunoda is going to force him wide a little bit and keeps the position of P7. Brilliant defence from Yuki Tsunoda there in his only third season in this alternate universe. Lewis is going to go down the inside of Cops. We know that doesn't go well with a Red Bull car, but this time it's an AlphaTauri, so maybe different for a family of cars. As, oh my god, they're going so close through Maggots and Beckett's. This has been going on for almost a lap now. As the Giovinazzi trying to go around, overtake us. Lewis, can he go around the outside of Tsunoda before Stowe? Yes, he can. And we're going to pull opposite. No, we're going to follow Yuki Tsunoda for a little bit longer as our tyres are a little bit aren't as worn as Jeff thought they would be. That's a little bit of a problem with race strategy. Always give you too much fuel, but always think the tyre wear is more severe. Going to come in this lap though because we're going to follow Tsunoda as very late call. Almost sped into pit lane now, not actually knowing what the pit limiter speed is a very bad idea. Make sure you do your research before you actually do the racing, is my suggestion there. Hopefully Lewis can maybe like hold up Tsunoda a bit. Doesn't seem to have worked. In fact, Tsunoda only holds us up. So yeah, we've inadvertently been held up. Not quite what we wanted, but it'll do. We should still be close to Yuki Tsunoda coming out the pit lane, unless we get a bit of oversteer like we just did then. And yeah, we've got a bit of bigger gap to him than when we came into the pit lane. So that's not quite worked out for us, but hopefully we are going to be close enough to Antonio Giovinazzi coming out.
Okay, the gap behind is 2.9 seconds. They're on fresh hards.
So you may have heard Leclerc behind us.
Tsunoda is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 1.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums.
Leclerc
Pierre is
behind.
in for his stop.
Pierre's in, and now we're gonna battle. It's a battle against the clock to find out if Giovinazzi is gonna be in front of us. I shouldn't be playing with the mic. P10, there's Antonio Giovinazzi's overcut us, and yeah, not quite sure what happened there. We just got delayed coming out of our pit box, as Leclerc is behind us by quite a bit. We kind of want to get past Antonio Giovinazzi as early as possible before Leclerc catches up to us, so that we can overtake Tsunoda to get the max points possible. Probably only be P9, because Leclerc should be able to overtake us all, but you never know. Ferrari are a little bit further away than Mercedes on the RMG performance chart, and Yuki was already giving Lewis a tough time, so you never know. So it's idealistic that we get ahead of the Alpine, because maybe the Alpine could defend against Leclerc much better than I. obviously seen with Tsunoda and me compared to Hamilton. Anyway, luckily the Antonio Giovinazzi was close enough to Tsunoda to get DRS, allowing us to get DRS on both of them and pull in
We're
a
starting
bit.
to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
It's fine, Jeff. We went about halfway through the race on the soft tyres, so the mediums are bound to make it to the end. Going through Chapel then, have we got a good run on Antonio Giovinazzi? Maybe, let's see. Chase them down. Not quite close enough for moving to Stowe, but going out of Stowe, we're quite close. Can we go for another dive bomb into the Vale chicane? Antonio goes defensive. I can't speak. We go around the outside, almost on the grass, and we do get past him though, up into P9. It was very close there between the two of us, but this is where the AI are strong for a little bit here, but we are able to hold on, and now it's our turn to chase down Yuki Tsunoda.
Back by about 0.3 a lap.
Of course, Jeff, because we overtook him that lap. Backing off just a little bit to Tsunoda at the end of that straight, because we don't want to overtake him there. We want to overtake him at the end of the Wellington Hanger Straight. I'm sure the Hanger Straight is the second one, yeah? Correct me in the comments below, please, because that's really bugging me. Going a bit wide at Cops, so that might give Tsunoda a bit of an edge as we head into the final sector. I'll just refer to it as a final sector and first sector. Coming out of Chapel then, flat, DRS open, ERS flowing, overtake. Are we going to close up to him? Yes, we are, but is it going to be enough? Not quite, but we're going to go for the move anyway. But Tsunoda just closes the door a little bit. It weren't really a door there anyway. It was a bit ambitious from us, so is that dive there. Tsunoda just braking a little bit earlier compared to where we normally brake, and almost having to take evasive action as we head on to lap 17. Once again, our controller dying on us. But, should be fine.
Okay, copy that.
Asking for more updates from Jeff, as closing in on Tsunoda once again still. Not close enough though. Hopefully we don't go too wide going into Cops. Might give us a better run heading onto the Hanger Straight. We got a good run coming out of Woodcote and Luffield. Going a little bit tighter to Cops this time. Allows us to hit the apex and get on the power a little bit earlier. Our delta is about the same as last attempt at the overtake. So who knows. But are we going to get a good run out of Chapel? It seems like it. A little bit closer to him, I think. DRS overtake on. A little bit closer to him. Maybe we can make a dive bomb into Stowe. Yes, we can. Making a bit of contact, maybe. Hopefully we got through cleanly. And we get up into P8 now. So we got a double buffer against Leclerc. So, but we do have 9 laps to go. So Leclerc could quite easily get the 3 of us.
30.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 17th. The time last lap was a 1:30.4.
Unfortunately for Pierre's race and focus, he is down in P17. Not the best, but his car just gave up on him, it seems, and doesn't want to do the British Grand Prix.
You're in 8th place. Hamilton ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 12.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Tsunoda is behind you. Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh mediums. The gap to the leader is 27.8 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 8 laps to go.
Having to ask Jeff about the race because he won't tell me. Heading on to lap 20 then, got the final.
Front is 13.5 seconds.
Final 7 laps to go. Lewis 13 seconds, very much outside of our window.
Time to the car behind.
Tsunoda keeping us honest at the moment as we go through the Wellington Straight. We lose the rear end just a little bit. Is Yuki going to attack us? He's closing in on us very rapidly. We're going to force him to the inside, like I said earlier. Tighten up the line as much as you can. Going into Luffield and Brooklands, other way around actually. We keep the position. and Leclerc has joined the party now. So it's at the utmost importance that we stay ahead of Yuki. But it seems like Leclerc cannot get past the Alpine of Antonio Giovinazzi. So the sign of Lewis only just being able to get past Tsunoda, foreshadowing that Leclerc cannot get past Antonio Giovinazzi. Yuki closing in on us now, heading into the sector 3. Where's he going to go? He's going to try the outside. Not quite. We just move over to the racing line a little bit later than he does, giving him the opportunity, but he doesn't quite take it. And we do keep P8 at the moment. We are losing a lot of time to Lewis though, but it doesn't matter as much as it probably would. It could, because this is our battle now. Yuki Tsunoda gonna try again. He's a lot closer this time, heading into sector 2. We force him all the way to the inside. He doesn't take the opportunity. So maybe that could have been his chance of P8. But we got 3 full laps after this remaining. Heading towards Cops, we've got a big gap to him at the moment, and that kept us stay.
Our gap to the car in front is 18.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. The time last lap was a 1 minute 26.7.
As you may have been able to see, you could see a car in the distance as I did talk Jeff. It turns out to be a back marker, not Carlos Sainz slowing down. Lewis has got past Carlos Sainz then, so very good recovery for Lewis to get up into P6 at least. Do we get DRS off the back marker? No. So Yuki, is he going to try another move? He's closing in, but he's not close enough. The straight needs to be a little bit longer for him, and then he'll get moved. Luckily, unfortunately for us, Nikita gets out of the way of us, almost takes out Yuki Tsunoda, gets in the way of the Alpine and Ferrari fight. Leclerc has finally got past Antonio Giovinazzi, but that could have been a big crash for Tsunoda, because he wouldn't have been able to brake. He might have took us out if he had been hit by Nikita Mazepin. So yeah, very dangerous there from Tsunoda. Maybe following my line, but he doesn't need to follow my line anymore. He goes to the inside, tighten up his line, can we? Don't tighten it on the exit, so he gives him a run into the Vale chicane. We're going to go to the middle of the circuit, hit the apex, and we get in front of him and keep PA as we head on to the final lap of the race. As Jeff confirming for me there. Heading into Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel for the final time. Is Yuki going to be close enough? The Alpine and Ferrari behind us are battling so much that they've dropped pace from us. We're going all the way to the outside, and we force Yuki Tsunoda to the inside. It doesn't look like we need to, because he's too far back, and he backs out of it. He lifts off the throttle. I think we're going to be able to keep P8. It's not P6 that we had in Austria and France, but it is another good and outstanding result. As we go through the final corner, are we going to set a personal best lap time? No, but it is going to be P8 and another outstanding performance to us today. Up 2 places, 3 places technically, down 1 because of this man Lewis Hamilton, but very good race overall.
Magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Well done for Red Bull getting a double podium. Daniel Ricciardo being the meat in a Red Bull sandwich at the end of this Grand Prix. Well done to Verstappen. It extends his championship lead, I do believe, over Sergio Perez. But once again, go back to us. That is a very good race for us. Not quite the win that we had last season, but as the performance suggests, we have outperformed this car in this race. And Lewis Hamilton from start P17 up 11 places to P6, so couldn't get back quite past Lando. But yeah, we took the best performance that we could. Antonio Giovinazzi in the end gets back past Leclerc, as Leclerc goes from 19th to 11th, not as much as Lewis. If he got us 3, maybe then he would have been actually equal with Lewis. Gasly able to get back past the 2 drivers that he was behind. Valtteri overtakes us in the championship. He overtakes me and Lewis, so we go equal points with Lewis after his amazing performance in this race. Yeah, a little bit slow for us, 3.1 in the pit stop, so maybe we could have jumped Tsunoda in that pit stop, but to be fair, it was quite a big small gap between him and Lewis, so I don't think we could have got into that.
At your home Grand Prix treating you?
They've been great.
You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you?
The team, it's magic when the team just works together. I probably didn't say the correct one. Rivalry Breakdown. Sergio just needs 1 more point now to beat us in the rivalry. Thank God. Although we are going to have to wait a while to get another rival, because we need to drop down in the Drivers' Championship for that to happen. But I don't see that happening for a long while, as the top teams take all the top points, meaning that us lonely drivers can't. But that is going to be the end of the episode for us, guys. If you have liked the video, please press the like button. If you disliked the video, please dislike. Subscribe if you want to see the next episode coming out Tuesday. Ring the notification bell so you are one of the first to view it. Share with your friends, because friends have common interests. But until you racers have a problem you engineers can't fix, I'm a race engineer. I've said this correctly for once. Bye bye.